Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Toxic Happy Hour, where we are toxic towards scams that delay the adoption of global sound money. Today we have Pubby straight from his skiing location. I hope you just had a little bit of after party, or maybe you squeezed in the Toxic Happy Hour instead. But what are you having in your little after ski?
Hey, you always got to go out, especially on happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. But you got to bust out the Guinness, baby. Bust out the Guinness.
Yeah, gotta say I'm a little jealous, but so I just gotta fill something in my coffee then, I guess. So how's the skiing?
Fantastic, man. Jeez. It's always hit or miss with spring skiing. I'm in Colorado right now, so usually I go in March. So sometimes you'll get out here, maybe I'll get a day of snow, but for a week of skiing, I'm on like day 5 or 6. I don't know, but yeah, we've had snow every single day. We've had over like 2 feet, maybe 3 feet of powder every day getting out there. So I can't complain, man. It's been a great time.
Yeah, I mean it's no secret where you're skiing, right?
No, I'm in Colorado.
Yeah. I remember when you told me you were going, I saw that like that first day or something you were there was an insane amount of snowfall, like 3 feet in one night or something, right? Which is just a skier's dream to have that much powder.
Yeah, I lucked out because our flight landed literally the day before the storm was coming in. So we just beat it up into the mountains here and got to hunker down, which is a good thing.
Yeah. If it happened too early, you wouldn't have made it there because the road wouldn't have been. Anyway, so let's quickly touch upon. There is one topic that I threw in the title, which is Morgan Stanley providing Bitcoin access to Bitcoin investments, and Morgan Stanley is the first big U.S. bank to do so. Okay, that's great, good for them, good for their clients. But I kind of feel like who cares anyway, right? Because we can all buy Bitcoin if we want and have been able to for years. But yeah, I guess it's bullish that finally the big banks who are threatened by Bitcoin are realizing that Bitcoin's already won. They need to embrace it. So Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, and Bank of America, their wealth management divisions still don't offer Bitcoin access to their clients. So now it's a game theory playing out where finally one of the big banks gave in, and now the rest are going to lose out. So it's all coming together. There's just no escaping the game theory and the Bitcoin black hole sucking in all value. So yeah, what's your take on that?
First off, after this year, it's like TikTok, another block. Every day, a new company, corporation, bank, entity, energy company. Every day is something new, man. And what I laugh at, I sound like Peter Schiff, always talking about going to zero, when every single day, what do you see? Just more institutions coming in. What I found interesting, one of the articles I read was that this Bitcoin fund was going to be available for their wealthy clients, as if people with only $1,000 to spend can't buy Bitcoin. This is available to our wealthy clients. I think one of the funds that they are looking at is it Galaxy Digital Galaxy, the one that Mike Novogratz runs, and so that's one of the funds that they're putting them into. You get sort of hardened to it, don't you? I mean, those of us that have been here for so many years, and now you're seeing it every day coming in. It's not surprising. We know the game's over. we know the final score. We're just watching a replay. We're just watching every day a new company come in, especially the ones that said they would never do it. And that's the best part is watching them have to tuck tail and admit they were wrong. Admit they were wrong by having to buy their billions of dollars of Bitcoin at $60,000. I love it.
Yeah. So by the time that the last of those big banks come in, the Bitcoin will be near a million probably. It's it's really game theory. The sooner you react and give in and understand that Bitcoin is the future, the better position you will be in. If you wait, then you're gonna miss out on that the value increase there is from being early and betting that Bitcoin will take over as money in the world until it takes over as money of the world. You gotta be early. So there's another thing that was out yesterday. I don't know if you saw it because you're busy skiing on the slopes, which actually, I want to hear. So how good a skier are you? Like I skied my entire childhood. Like I spent 1 week skiing since I was 4 years old, usually in Norway. But how good a skier are you? You doing black slopes?
Yeah, the majority, solid blue. The blacks I do. I don't do the moguls. I try to stay away from. I'm too old for the moguls anymore. But yeah, some of the blacks are fine. It's just a lot of times, it depends on how narrow the run is, of course, the conditions. If it's, we got one here that's it's a blue, but when it's icy, they turn it into a black. But middle of the road, probably, on a scale of that 0 to 10 scale, they run, I think probably a 7. I mean, I'm by no means an expert or anything. Just I can get down off the mountain from anywhere. That's the important part to me. Wherever I am, I can get down in one piece, man.
And we all know the way you learned it was that the first time you were standing at the top of a black run and you realized it was the only way down to get to the after ski. That's how Pubby learned to ski the black slopes. Yeah. If you go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say. Honestly, here's how I learned. My buddies had been skiing. I was at the time Pennsylvania, I think it was, and I said, "Hey, let's go skiing." I said, "Yeah, man, it sounds good." I think I was like 15 at the time or 16, and this is back in the 80s. You didn't have all the specialty gear or anything, or I mean, you wore jeans. You actually wore jeans, and remember, when the bottom of your jeans would get frozen. But yeah, I literally got. I got it in the lift. I never skied before. I jumped in the lift. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I remember getting off the lift like, oh, what did I get into, man? No lessons, no nothing. It's just very funny. Like, hey, head downhill.
So your first time was you were 15, 16 when you skied first time?
Yep.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm dying to go skiing with you. I really hope somehow we can make it next year. That would be awesome. So I know there's Pubby's mic does have some scratchy sound, and I see it also in the chat. I just want to know that we have now donations enough for a mic for Pubby, more or less. But as Pero, who knows about mic quality and audio quality, everybody knows that Pero is the master of that. He's got that Preston Pish voice, I would say, as a minimum. Then according to him, Pubby needs to get a laptop first, and that's just out of budget. So Pubby, once you get that laptop, then we are buying from the Toxic Happy Hour treasury, which is all in sats. Sorry, we don't count it in Bitcoins, but we have 132,000 sats sitting ready to buy you a mic when you get a laptop.
Hey, yeah, new laptops on the way as well. As you know, with my travels, I got so many. I got work computers. I got work phones, regular phones. There's only so much equipment you can carry with you.
Yeah, I know. But laptops are not the same as desktops. So I'm sure you can.
Yes, of course. If you knew the number of work laptops I have and shit I got to carry, man, you'd understand. I got plenty I can use already. So it was like, why buy a new one? I've got like three I can use.
You have 3 laptops?
Yeah, but they're more work related. So I try to keep, my Bitcoin separate from my work.
Yeah.
I like I have a few hardware wallets or Bitcoin wallets on there, but that's about it.
Yeah. So to get back on topic again, although quality of podcast, of course, is important. So looking forward to when you buy your 4th laptop and we can get you a mic. But anyways, so yesterday, Pierre Richard, whom we had on the show in January, where Preston Pish famously gate crashed. That was a great episode. I recommend people checking it out. It's back in January. Pierre Richard retweeted something about atomic finance, and I didn't fully understand it. It's basically it's basically you can earn an interest on non-custodial Bitcoin sats. So it is somehow you keep you know, your Bitcoin under your kind of under your control. It's a 2 of 2
Really?
multi-sig, which means no one can take it without, you know, your permission. And it is a it's a product that somehow involves covered calls. And Sean Stacken tried to explain it to me yesterday, because the dude studies, you know, economics of finance is something I studied economics, but this part I think is more like finance product related. I didn't fully understand it, but nevertheless, you know, what's interesting is that it's a way to earn, I think, approximately 4% interest rate on your, you know, Bitcoin that is still under your control, which is pretty cool stuff.
So how's, if it's under your control, what's in it for them? What's their collateral?
Yeah, so that's the thing I'm not fully understanding, the way the product is put together. It's something about covered calls, and then they used, you know, some fancy 3-letter abbreviation that also, you know, didn't quite 100% make sense. I can't help but looking at Greg Sage in the chat saying, you know, he's not used to seeing the shades behind you being all like straight and normal and no problem. So anyways, you know what, again, I just want to say with that atomic finance, it is a it's another example of, you know, interest rate opportunities coming to Bitcoin. And, you know, some are custodial, like a BlockFi, and some are non-custodial, which means you can, you know, hold it yourself. And it's all about that interest rate market coming to Bitcoin, where the interest rate is way higher than on the, you know, dirty fiat artificial 0% / miners negative interest rate, which will help draw in money to Bitcoin.
Yeah, I haven't understood. So, you know, so many people that are so against some of the, you know, with the BlockFi, I think, you know, on-chain capital coming in offering interest. I mean, look, I'm not saying go 100%, but why in the hell wouldn't you just put a little bit in? How are people expecting to pull value from their Bitcoin in the future? Are they going to sell it? Here's the question: Would you rather sell it or have it in a multi-sig where you're getting interest at least? You know?
Yeah. So that's that old conversation we had there, where I say, you can sell your Bitcoin 10 years from now because there's no alternative. There is only Bitcoin. The only thing you can do is you can earn Bitcoin as a salary. You can sell your house for Bitcoin. You can buy stuff for Bitcoin or satoshis, basically. So yeah, you know, an interest rate market, this makes sense in many ways, I think. And
why not sell it? That's the point, though. Would you rather sell it or give up, you know, one key where it's a multi-sig and then sell and you cash in the interest each month? Cash in just the interest part. You still hold the original. I don't understand why people. Probably people from the Mt. Gox days, man, that are still scared off by exchanges and everything else, and everything's a scam. I don't know, but eventually, the market will mature to a point where it's going to
and we lost Puppy. And we got Puppy back. So carry on.
Sure. Yeah, from 12,000 feet, man. Internet isn't always the best. So I'm doing the best here.
You're doing what you can. You are actually sacrificing holiday to do unpaid toxic happy hour. We do this because we love it. Yeah, you were talking about interest rate. I agree. You know, you know, having some of your Bitcoin in a way where you can earn interest rate, it sounds okay with me, to be honest. Let's see. So another thing that happened, as I'm trying to go through, you know, my short-term memory to see if there's any topics that could be relevant to bring up. So the Jerome Powell, the head of evil central banking, stealing the value of people's savings, that they convinced you that it's good for you, which it's not. They're lying. Yep. It's a scam. He came out with a dovish speech, basically saying that they're not, going to increase interest rates. Which basically is great for, anything else than US bonds, I guess, like people are running away from, or at least it's basically killing the dollar faster. So it means people need to move their value to places where their value is not killed, which sends people to Bitcoin and stonks. So that's one thing. I don't know if you saw that happen. That happened a few hours ago. There was a discussion whether it was, you announcing that we were going live with Toxic Happy Hour, or if it was Jerome Powell that pumped the price of Bitcoin like $2,000.
Hey, you get the scarf, Toxic Happy Hour scarf pump, and then I don't know. Is Daniel there? Where's Princey? Because when Princey gets in here and goes on a rant, man, that adds a little bit extra. Hey, I'll tell you what, because you talk about the quick pumps and all that. I remember, geez, I think it was like 2:00 in the morning here. I woke up and made the cardinal mistake of checking Bitcoin price, and damn it was starting to pump towards 60,000. So I wasn't going back to bed till we hit 60. But I'm glad because it dropped. Of course, it was 60, 61 for a bit, and it drops down to what did we drop down to, like 54 or something. And I'm still laughing. I mean, what a perfect. It's hard for us to admit now. Can you imagine in December or November saying, "Hey, I got lucky and bought Bitcoin at 54,000"? But that's what those dips are about, man. In one day you get a 5% or 10% pullback. Just buy a little bit. But I'm laughing at. There was a Reuters article yesterday, and they talked about, this Bitcoin down 1.9% over, and I had to write back. I had to do a screen capture the chart. You're literally writing an article about a 1.9% drawback off an asset that has really gone up 1,000% in a year. You're going to write this article. It goes to everything else, like with Jerome Powell. You sit back and laugh after a while, because whatever they do, whatever they say, guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin's going to do what it's going to do, man.
Yeah. Bitcoin, Honey Badger don't care.
No.
Yeah, which is, Bitcoin doesn't care. I'm wearing that hoodie. Bitcoin don't care. Bitcoin don't care. If you like this model or that model, or if you listen to Jerome Powell or not. Bitcoin's going to do its thing. Bitcoin also doesn't matter. I think the only thing Bitcoin does care about is, toxic happy, obviously. But apart from that, I'm kidding. Obviously, Bitcoin doesn't care about toxic happy hour.
Yeah, to go back to Morgan Stanley, or, when those clients come in and like for quote wealthy clients, when they go in there and they see, so what is this Bitcoin, or other clients of Morgan Stanley that don't have access? There's no such thing as bad news for Bitcoin. Guess what they're going to do? Well, why am I paying a premium here when I can own it myself? Why am I doing it here? Or wait a second, I don't need a fund for this. I can do it myself.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as bad news in Bitcoin, man.
That's why I'm like, I honestly don't really care about this Morgan Stanley news, because so what? These clients can buy Bitcoin. Anyone's been able to buy Bitcoin for so many years. It's just a matter of opening an account on a Bitcoin exchange.
Quick shout out to Greg. Greg and Greg, I'm in the middle of a chat here. I know you just tried to call me. What's going on, man? Maybe you can talk to the chat. You try to call me on my other phone, man. What's going on?
Really? But yeah, Greg is in the chat. He's trying to call you. But you all see Puppy and I made the cover of Bloomberg. No, that can't be it. I don't know.
Hey, my meme was the first one to come out with Greg on that cover, and I think the photo was actually better.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
So
Greg wanted trying to call me in the middle of the show.
you know what? I think Greg is trying to throw us off and just like create 5 minutes of nothingness in Toxic Happy Hour. What he doesn't understand is we already do 5 minutes of nothingness like 20 consecutive times, and that's how we create the Contango Toxic Happy Hour. So what else is going on in Bit? Regarding the prices you were saying before, I like right now I'm honestly bored of a price less than 60,000, and it's funny to think back. It's not many months ago we were all like screaming our heads up. We finally reached 20,000. The previous all-time high. That's only like 3.5 months ago, and here we are now 3 times higher, and bored of the price action just because we're not having all-time highs today. That's why people need to just zoom out a little bit instead of saying, hey, I bought 4 days ago, I'm down. Well, I mean, nothing goes up in a straight line.
There's something, and it's interesting because we're going to get him on the show, but Bitcoin Tina, one of the most bullish guys I know, he had basically come out and said, you know what, anyone had come up before the 20,000 mark, all the Bitcoin you have right now, you can even take a break from buying. And his point is this: what you have there, you're going to be set the rest of your life, which I sort of see, and it makes it difficult. Which I see now is like, man, I love, of course, to stack my sats, but man, it pisses me off sometimes when you used to get 0.1 Bitcoin for $400. Now that same was 4,000. So when you've been here long, it gets harder to stack sometimes. Moving forward, you still got to do it, but I thought it was interesting. Like, if you want, you can pretty much take your foot off the gas for a bit.
Well, what do you mean by that? Take the foot off the gas?
No, it's hard. The mindset. So, for example, someone that was in, let's say they bought at $1,000 Bitcoin. When they saw it dump to 20 that first time, I'm sure it was a pain for them to buy. And they said, look, I've already got my 50, whatever they have. So their stacking may have slacked off, and it's hard to get people to keep stacking when they started, or they've seen those 10x, 15, 20x returns. It takes a special kind of mindset. That's what I guess I'm trying to say.
Right. There was something, I had something on my mind that slipped because for once I was paying attention to you, which I should be, of course. So what I wanted to say is, I still want to just mention to people that I believe that 0.1 Bitcoin is all you need for financial independence in the new world, which we'll have by the end of this decade. My target for Bitcoin is $20 million. Means that 0.1 Bitcoin is $2 million, but it's $2 million worth of buying power in a world where prices are allowed to go down all the time. There's no inflationary evil central bank. There's only prices that are dropping because the money supply is fixed. It's 100% hard cap. We've never had that before, which means as we get better to produce goods and services, prices of everything fall. And $2 million in a world where prices keep falling, that's financial independence, in my point of view. And that today can be bought for $6,000. For $6,000 today, in my opinion, you can secure your family just by the end of this decade. Like, have at least 0.1 Bitcoin and hold your breath, but wait for Bitcoin to run its course, and you'll be fine.
I put out a tweet earlier today, before I hit the slopes, of course. And what I'm thinking of these corporations, because there's no CEO in the world. There's no CEO that hasn't heard of Bitcoin. And you're telling me that you're presented with an asset class with an annualized average rate of return of 200%, and you can't be bothered to put even 1% on your asset sheet, or you deserve all the financial pain coming your way. If you can see that, I mean, how many years do you want? 20 years, 30 years of these returns? I just don't. I don't know if it's the fear of the unknown, the hubris. I don't know, man. But people are going to miss the boat, and good. I'm glad they're getting wrecked. I'm glad.
Yeah, it's like the tulip. You saw Greg Sage, the mother.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
tulip bubble. I think someone told me yesterday. It lasted 1 or 2 seasons of yeah, 1 or 2 seasons of tulip. Seasonality, but
Hmm.
Bitcoin now has been doing average 200% for 12 years.
Yeah,
That's not a bubble. That is disruption of the monetary system. Nothing pumps that much for 12 years and is a bubble. So if you don't own Bitcoin now, after what Bitcoin has proven to you that the market says it's worth, and the at the speed at which the market values Bitcoin as something you need to have, um,
yeah,
you're really, if you have zero Bitcoin, you are extremely naive and really living your life dangerous. You got a family, to take care of. At
yeah.
least you need to have some Bitcoin. Up to you how much you want to have, but you cannot deny the world's best performing asset that so many people say if only you do the research, you will understand it
Mm.
and want to have some. And people disregard it without spending 5 minutes understanding what it is, but just giving
Yeah.
talking bad about Bitcoin. As you say, then you deserve not to
Yeah.
have any Bitcoin or buy it unless until it's $1 million.
So I'll tell you, and basically, it's a big mind fuck. It is a big
Mm-hmm.
mind fuck to see a number like $60,000. Okay, and what I'm talking, and because I want to talk about unit bias here in a minute. But you want to talk about how early we are. We're like less than 1% of adoption of any corporations, and we're sitting at $60,000. So when we throw around numbers like 500,000 or a million, that's absolutely nothing. There's absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things when you have less than 1% adoption and you're sitting at $60,000. I mean, geez, we're less than a 2x away from that 100K party, for example. Uh,
Yeah.
but people get so fixated on that whole Bitcoin. I got to have that whole Bitcoin, 60,000. And somehow they got to shift and realize, you know what? Um, Man, I can buy, a million sats for a couple $100. People got to change their mindset about owning that whole coin. Because
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. So what do you think about the unit bias, and how does the community, if they can, well, not that Bitcoin cares, but how do you transition to get people to think more into satoshis or bits, whatever people want to call it? I know Adam Back is big on the bit stuff, but how do you change the mindset on that?
Uh, how do you change the mindset? I don't know. I guess it happens organically. I personally love Sats the Standard, which I believe
Yeah,
Matt Odell and Marty Bent created. They have awesome podcast, Tales from the Crypt. Marty Bent and Matt Odell, highly recommended. We had Matt Odell on back in, I think, November on Toxic Happy Hour. But I think Sats the Standard make a lot of sense because look, yeah, sure, I know
yeah,
Sats is not worth so much, so maybe something is priced in a few thousand Sats or a million Sats or whatever. But as prices go down, Sats is just easy, man. And for those who don't know, there's
yeah,
100 million Sats on one Bitcoin.
yeah,
Um, so
yeah.
uh, yeah, that's the standard. I don't, there's nothing we can do to change it. And
No,
I wanted to, did you get a text or something from Greg Sash? I can see you smiling.
no, I was just reading through all the bullshit in our chat, man. We got the
Yeah,
best chat room. There's no question, man. We got the best fucking people in here. I love all you guys. Um, Jesus,
yeah, except
yeah,
Greg Sash, of course. We love all of them except Greg
yeah,
Sash.
Big Sean Harris, man. Love you, brother. Here's a real question for the chat. What happens first? Jack Mallers takes over the world, or hyper Bitcoinization, or maybe it's a tie. Maybe about the same time all that goes down.
So that's your question to the chatter, or we'll see what they say. I'll have to
No,
scroll down and
no, that was from Big Sean Harris. Big Sean
oh,
Harris was asking that.
little Sean. 7 foot little Sean, a pro basketball player from he's from US, but he's playing in Tenerife, I believe. There he is. So, but hey, that's Bitcoin. Enough about Bitcoin. Basically, not financial advice, friendly advice, compassionate advice. Buy Bitcoin, own Bitcoin. There, we said it. Not financial advice. How's the after ski in Colorado? That's what I want to know.
Oh, sorry. What was your question? Good.
I'm so glad that finally you are also being distracted by the chat and not only me. I love you, brother.
No, I can hear it. It was the accent. The accent got me on that one. How was the what?
How is the after ski in Colorado? Because in Austria has some of the best after ski in Europe, and I haven't even been there, but that's what I heard. But otherwise, I enjoy after ski in France. Has been great. That's where I have my best after ski. Italy as well. But what's it like in Colorado?
Mostly depends upon the resort. Some are more family oriented here. What's really killed it though? The whole COVID thing has killed so much out here. To include after ski, man. My favorite thing. Get a good day on the slopes. There's a few good places with an outdoor deck. You just have a couple of margaritas. You just watch everyone coming down the mountain at the end of the day. So that's my speed. I'm not one of those that's going to go out till after midnight doing the whole dancing thing.
No.
But yeah, it's good, man. To sit outside under the nice blue skies with the Colorado sun is gorgeous. And a few beers, margaritas, your drink of choice. It's a great way to end the day. And everyone you go back. Everyone passes out early when you're working that hard at 12,000 feet or 4,000 meters for the European friends. That's a long day on the slopes. So you're tired. So you get home and everyone's crashed by 9 o'clock at night. But you're up early. You're up early and ready to go again.
I love how you admit that you don't after ski until midnight, because we all know you start at 10 a.m. and cheers to that. No, so the thing I love about after ski in Europe is you go. I don't know what it's like in US really, but you go in your skiing clothes. You're still wearing your ski boots, your downhill ski boots, which are not super comfortable, but you go full Monty. And that's where you start drinking beer and have a good time. What's it like in Colorado? I mean, do you guys wear the whole ski clothes, so you go home and change first before you go to the?
No, man, you have your last run there. Whatever your last run is, it's just like time for a beer. You're wearing what you're wearing. Beer, like say, trying to think what some popular drinks. There's one place I go to, man. I have an unbelievable Bloody Mary with a piece of bacon that is
so good.
And I don't know how many centimeters that would be. Was it 2.5 centimeters an inch? But damn, that thing's like eating a steak.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. But that's all you do. That's all I do here. It's not. I'm not going home, getting changed, and going out and partying again.
No. Yeah. So,
but Europe is that's a whole different animal, man. That type of skiing, that's just so different than American style.
Yeah.
Really.
I haven't really been on one of those just me and my mates skiing in US. I guess there might be an after ski scene that I'm missing, but anyways. RD. So, Poppy, what else is going on? We covered a couple of topics in Bitcoin, like the Morgan Stanley, the atomic finance, something else, Bitcoin being cheap. Everyone should get off zero. I mean, it's ridiculous to own zero Bitcoin, even if you just simply haven't educated yourself yet. Just can't ignore it. What else is going on? Have you had a chance to see any other news, anything happening, or?
No, I mean, quite honestly, when half your days on the slopes, and so I haven't had a chance to keep up with a lot of the current events. But I'll tell you this, man, it's the boring time. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We went up 1,000% in 1 year. Okay, excuse us if we have to take a break now.
Yeah.
We'll take a break until late spring, early summer for the next real. But that's just it. I mean, from December until today. My God, what else do people want? What else do they want after this year? Um, the biggest news to me are the people that will still not get it. They still won't buy it. They still.
Yeah.
I'm done talking to them, and I found that with people ask about family and friends, and I love the new Bitcoiners that come on Twitter,
Yeah.
and it's funny because it's always the same ones after they've been in about 6 months that finally admit, you know what, I just can't talk to my friends anymore about it. They just don't get it. They just don't, and I when I learned that, there's a lot of people that don't know I have Bitcoin because I'm tired of talking to people and trying to get them into it. If they're not ready for it, they're not ready for it, man. And if they don't see it, you can't force them to see it, and it's not worth my time, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, we've tried and we've been slapped in the face for the last 3 years and laughed at because we believed in this thing called Bitcoin. But the challenge is that as you go down the Bitcoin rabbit hole and you start to understand, how central banking really just is a system of stealing wealth indirectly from citizens and residents, and how it's a way for governments to raise funds without having to go the troublesome way of taxing people directly. You just indirectly tax them by stealing the value of the savings. Then you just start to see the whole corruption and the puppet presidents and all of these things, and all the people you speak to, family and friends who haven't gone down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, they still believe in everything mass media tell them.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Well, guess what I'm looking forward to Tuesday, March 23rd, baby. You want to talk about a rant on what's illegal? Max Kaiser and Stacy coming on the show. Because someone posted one of his rants, and I mean, God, the guy's brilliant. The guy's brilliant, but he's right. The whole system is so corrupt. It's so evil. It is so you can't wrap your head around how bad it is. And what's funny is when you understand Bitcoin, you finally see it, and when you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
And when he rants like that, I love it because it's true. And we get to sit back. Look at you, sip your coffee. We get to sit back, and guess what? We wait. And this year we waited to 1,000%.
Yeah.
And we wait, and we watch that dollar just get printed into oblivion.
Yep.
Just flooding the market. Yeah. Absolutely no value whatsoever. I think one of his fun gimmicks is to just tear up $100 bills, which at the end of the day is absolutely worthless. God, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah. So Max Kaiser and Stacy Herbert are coming on Toxic Happy Hour Tuesday next week, the 23rd of March, 11 a.m. PST. And that's gonna be amazing. That guy has done so much for Bitcoin recently. When he was asked how many Bitcoins he had, because he was recommending Bitcoin back in, I think, 211, maybe even 210. He was asked how many Bitcoin he has. He said, it involves a lot of zeros. That's a lot of zeros. Dude probably has, I don't know, 10,000 or more.
Hey, even better, and that's the best thing on Peter Schiff, because I love to hate on him just because just the pure gaslighting effort he puts into this. But Max Kaiser told Peter Schiff about Bitcoin when it was under $10, dude. Under $10. And to this day, at $60,000, he's still saying it's what? Oh, it's a total bubble. Yeah. That dude knew. Do you know how many? And you know how much money he had under management at that time, right? How many? Like hundreds of millions or billions. Imagine,
wait, are you talking about Max or Peter?
No, I'm talking about Peter Schiff. How much money he had under management when he found out about Bitcoin?
Right.
Do you know how many? He literally could have it probably cost. I know billions, but hundreds of billions he has cost his clients. It's absolutely astounding to me, and he still does it. So I don't know, some sponsorship is out there. He's a Bitcoin proponent. Some people think that's a sort of a, I don't know, not really a joke, but a sort of a scam they're running. But it's mind blowing to me that from $10 to $60,000 and you missed out on it. The guy is just so bitter, bitter. I love it.
Absolutely, but I'm really tired of us honestly giving airtime to Peter Schiff. He's saying the same thing. He's not listening to arguments. Like, can we just stop even retweeting him and making fun of him? Because it's just, I don't want to. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You know what? Back when you and I met each other, on the phone, which I believe was January 2019. Back then, I was working for Bitcoin IRA, and I actually called Peter Schiff, got through his secretary, and spoke to him because I felt that it was a question of him not being able to make money on Bitcoin and making money on gold. So I tried to explain to him, look, we have this white label product that you can actually benefit a lot from. Give it your own name and sell Bitcoin in IRAs. But I spoke to him for about 10-15 minutes, and he was just like, he was rejecting the idea of Bitcoin. I'm done with him, really. Like, let's just.
But there's so many like that. There's so many that we're done with, but we keep dragging them through. Although, hey, we got a little weak-handed David Day Trader is finally coming back in. I think he's finally coming back in.
Is he? Is he buying Bitcoin again?
Yeah, he's got some new sponsor, but hey, at the end of the day, he's had fun with it. He loves the Bitcoiners. He's already said that the Bitcoiners are his kind of people. He's admitted defeat. I think he's coming back. He shouldn't. He's coming back when he sold. I think it was 13,000 when he sold, dude. So he's coming back, and he's got to eat that big shit burger. He's got to eat that shit burger, man.
I think he bought around, but I may be mistaken. He bought around 12, 13, but then it crashed, quotation, like 15, 20%, and he panicked and sold. And that's the thing. If you don't have education and knowledge and understanding, then you have weak hands and you panic sells because you don't know that you're holding the future money of the world. If you have knowledge and understanding, you have strong hands because you don't care if it goes down short term because you know what's going to happen long term. That's what I keep saying. Nobody knows the short term. Don't trade it. Medium term, I feel we know it. We're going above 300,000. I think that's pretty logical if you run the numbers. And long term, $20 million. But honestly, that target of 20 million was before they diluted dollar by 40%, printing 40% more since last year, since COVID. So what's going on?
No, I'm laughing because is it in chat? Draymond, I believe he goes by Davey Dexwaber, and that's from something he had a clip he put out, and he goes, "No way, I'm not coming back to Bitcoin. I'm not coming back to Bitcoin. I'm not going to swab your decks. I'm not going to swab your decks." So I turned that one into a meme with him and Peter Schiff swabbing decks because he's too proud. And you get guys like that. Look, the guy's got enough money on his own, but you get guys so proud and that they missed the boat that they won't even buy back in, knowing it could 10x, 20x again. But they're so salty. Yeah, they're so salty they won't do it. It's beautiful.
Pride. That is which movie is that where he says that's pride messing with you? Which movie is that? You're always good with movies.
That's pride.
I don't recall. But Davey Day Trader or Davey Dick Swapper has paper hands.
Yeah, if someone's in the chat can look up. Did he say something about coming back to Bitcoin? I don't know if it was on a tweet or something he did yesterday. Again, I'm in and out right now between this game and everything else. Yeah, but I think he's saying he's going to get back in now. Finally.
Yeah,
at almost 60,000.
if you're coming to a toxic happy hour to know what's going on, just remember that Puppy's skiing half the time and I'm sleeping half the time. So, anyways, man, I'm enjoying life. I'm enjoying life. It's good. I get to hang out with you. And oh yeah. Yes, Dream Man. That is Pulp Fiction. I was thinking that yeah, I that's Pulp Fiction. I remember watching. I was studying my bachelor when I watched the premiere of Pulp Fiction back in the days, man. You know, that was the days you were just hanging with your mates and catching all the cool premieres and stuff. All right.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction.
Confirmed.
I remember. Yeah, bring out the GIMP. Pulp Fiction. Jeez. We will never talk of this.
Yeah.
Like most people that watch this show.
And Huddle George is another line from the movie. And Pedro, the Velvet Voice, has joined the chat. So he's the guy who knows about audio quality. He's the guy he sent a link on the mic that I will be buying for you, Puppy, as soon as you get a laptop. But you know what? The longer we wait, so this is the thing with Bitcoin. Here's another rock pull from Puppy. Since we put our donations in satoshis, you know, each month we wait. You know, that those satoshis can buy more equipment. So it's like, do we want one mic now? Do we want two mics 2 months from now? Whatever, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're just messing around. So wait, there was a tweet from Plan B that I want to just want to bring out. Let me just see if I can find it. Let me just find Plan B. Where he was. Yeah, go ahead.
Good. No, so while you're looking it up, I was going to comment. You know, Plan Marcus was just, you know, he's talking about he watched a news article about the inflation in Lebanon and prices going up every hour, and that one hits close. Yeah, the supermarkets are being bought empty. That one hits close to me because you know, there's an older friend of mine I have, and he's from Lebanon, and you know, of course, but most of the Americans don't really know or care what's going on there. But with my travels, I do, and I've talked to him over the last couple of years about what's going on. And man, I'll tell you what. And I've told him about Bitcoin, and I know he's got his family into it, and I know because a lot of the money he makes in America, he sends back to Lebanon for this. Yeah, so the things that like Jack Mallers is doing is absolutely one of the greatest humanitarian things they can do right now, especially in Lebanon.
Explain it for the people that don't know what strike is, and explain why you think that is a solution with the problem they have with the hyperinflation now starting in Lebanon and the lack of trust in whatever money they have.
Well, so I don't know the technical backgrounds about how they do it. I can tell you this: they bypass the entire banking system, or you know, the bullshit of having to go to Western Union to transfer value. They can literally transfer Bitcoin and have it converted into local unit or local currency. So from your U.S. dollars, or I think he's got the one show where it goes from U.S. dollars straight into euro, and it's transferred via Bitcoin, via Lightning Network. So
when they're done rolling out Strike across the globe, I believe that is supposed to be latest Q3. Then you will be able to transfer, you know, fiat currency. Well, satoshis as well if you want to, but you can transfer fiat currency at no cost from any country in the world to any other country in the world, which means you can send $10 or 5 cents or whatever to Lebanon, and they get it in local currency. But the way things are going down there, I guess that people would prefer to just receive it in Satoshi. And I guess that, you know, hopefully people will learn that Bitcoin is a better money in Lebanon and start moving to Bitcoin as money instead of this, local currency that right now, Plan Marcus is mentioning. Just watched a news article on current inflation in Lebanon. As you were mentioning before, Pubby, prices going up every hour, supermarkets being bought empty because, as Labra mentioned yesterday, I was on a jitsi with him, he's from South America, so he's seen things that there will be times where toilet paper is, a better store value, obviously, than a hyperinflating fiat currency.
So, Andrew, here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize that in many countries, your family's money doesn't come from your job there. A lot of times they send family members abroad to work. Okay.
Yeah.
So in America, it's very unheard of. No one can wrap their head around that. Wait, so you have a couple of family members that travel and they work overseas and then they send you money back? Well, yeah, that's how it works, because there's no jobs where they are. But guess what? They get absolutely raped when they try to send the value back. When they try to send that value back to their family, they're losing 25% on those transactions. That's the beautiful part of Strike, is being able to convert currency there to Bitcoin, transfer it over, and then transfer it straight back to with limited charges compared to 25%.
Absolutely.
Massive. It's massive.
Yeah, it's instead of losing 25% of your hard-earned currency, we're talking, these are not the rich people. These are the the hard-working people trying to support families in home countries, and Strike is offering a product where instead of being financially raped, losing 25% when they're trying to send it home, they'll be able to send it at no cost, no loss. I mentioned Plan B's tweet before. Let me just bring it up on the screen. I think it's a great point. Every time people buy some Bitcoin and it happens to drop over a few days, and they're like, oh, it's going, it's terrible. I just want to bring this up. So if you look at, zoom out a little bit, to look at the close of the months, then in December, Bitcoin closed at 29,000 almost. In January at 33, in February 45, and right now in March we're at 55. So my point is, dear people, when you're worried about don't make instant money, remember, no assets go up in a straight line. Zoom out a little bit, and you're killing it. Just if you're giving your 401k 40 years to produce value for you, well, first of all, it's not going to, because it's priced. Their whole bonds and all kinds of terrible assets that will, in my opinion, lose significant value. But if give it a little bit of time, zoom out, look at a monthly, and we are going up very fast at the moment. We are right now in the 6th consecutive month where Bitcoin is growing double digit in value, and most of those months, all except one, has been around 30% or above. It's a stupid good investment, basically.
I'm thinking in 3 years, man, only 3 years from the next halving. How insane is that? We haven't felt the full effects of this one, and we're only 3 years. We haven't even started to feel the effects of this one, and within 3 years, that block reward is cut in half again. You gotta be fucking kidding me! When all these other companies that swear up and down they will never buy Bitcoin will be coming to buy Bitcoin, and that supply shock. You can't put words to it.
You can't. It's gonna get really, really funny. And one thing I want to say to build on that point is that look at what happened the last 12 months in Bitcoin. 12 months ago, Bitcoin dropped down to $3,800. Let me repeat, $3,800, and people were worried about, not everyone, but some people were worried about the future of Bitcoin. Here we are, 12 months later, at $58,000 per Bitcoin. The new all-time high is 62. Imagine how so when you look day to day, yeah, sure, it feels like, we're getting impatient, we want a new pump, where's my 100K, where's my 80K Bitcoin? But zoom out a little bit and imagine what can happen the next 12 months. And third rock pull from Puppy. This is a new record from Puppy, and he has now done 3 rock pulls. So I think
there's no rock. Look, man, I'm in the mountains. You know what internet is like sometimes in the mountains? Jesus, God, give me a break, man. Give me a break. I'm here.
Yeah, but I got to give you a hard time one way or another. This is Toxic Happy Hour. But I just think that your ability to pull rock pulls make me think that Toxic Happy Hour definitely should launch a token that we then can rock pull on. And by the way, that's how I feel about all DeFi built on Ethereum. But actually, that Atomic Finance is DeFi built on Bitcoin, and that's something that I do believe in. Pierre Richard doesn't retweet it unless there's something to it. That guy is legit. He's the guy that put Preston Pish on ice when Preston tweeted or DM'd him on Twitter saying that he sold everything at 18, and Pierre Richard didn't answer and talk to him for 12 months until Preston Pish DM back and said, when the price was around, I don't know, 5, 6, saying, all right, I'm back in. Price is looking attractive.
Yes, Puppy's very bullish.
Puppy's bullish. So what? So time for Moon Juice, Puppy. What? At my point was in 12 months, the Bitcoin landscape not only changed, it has changed dramatically. What can we see the next 12 months, in your opinion?
Well, the thing that changed me, I never thought about the narrative of companies putting it on the balance sheet, because guess what? Bonds suck. Greg Foss was on. We love him. Can't wait to get him back. And he'll admit bonds fucking suck. So companies are seeing this, and now they're going to put it on a balance sheet. So, man, this year, we're at probably $500,000 by the end of the year. Honestly, there's nowhere else for companies to go. I mean, who wants to buy? Well, you get your 5-year notes, your 10-year. Who wants to buy a 10-year bond at 1% when they're finally realizing what the true inflation rate is? I'll tell you, the best thing Michael Saylor ever did was he introduced to the world, not that you could put it on your balance sheet, but he identified what the true inflation rate was. And it sure as hell isn't a CPI 2%. It's closer to the total money supply, 15% a year. And companies are starting to wake up to it slowly. But when they do, they realize they're just bleeding cash, the melting ice cube. This is I don't even know if it's part of game theory. The Plan B model still holding up. I don't know how you can make something up like this. I just don't understand how you could figure it out as game theory, but it's working, isn't it? The model's still holding up. It's going to break to the upside.
Yeah,
it's going to break to the upside.
Yeah, it will. That's I think what we both believe, that S2FX is going to break to the upside. That does, it doesn't mean that it's not a model that has been working, but no model, I guess. But I just want to say, Puppy, okay. You jump in now and say what you want to say, but we do take questions occasionally from the chat, and we do have a relevant question on the screen right now. But why don't you make your statement first, and then we go to the questions?
Yeah. So, look, you've had 1 year of a 10x. Could we not have another 10x? Why not? I think we do.
Yeah, that absolutely. But I just want to say that. Comment on that and say, remember that bull runs get steeper and steeper. They don't get flatter and flatter. They don't go up in a straight line. Bull runs get steeper and steeper. It's number go up technology in effect.
Right. Here's the problem, Anders. As we agree, everyone can agree, we're at less than 1% adoption. We just had a 10x with less than 1% adoption. What do you think 5% adoption is going to look like? What do you think 10% adoption is going to look like? We just did a 10x when people are still putting out shit articles, okay, the same old. There's a 10x like it was nothing. We're 3 years from another halving.
Yeah.
It's going to be insane.
Yeah, it's so this happened in 1 year. Imagine what happens in 3 years before the next halving. Fiat currency could be dead. The dollar could be on its knees, crying and burning, and Bitcoin having taken over, starting in countries where the fiat currency is even worse than the dollar, and that says a lot. But okay, so we have a question from the chat, Puppy. Before I go to Greg's phenomenal tweet chats, but so there's a question on the screen from Jake, Puppy. If you care to answer, I think this one's for you.
Yeah,
can you see it?
You see the is there a hand towel? No, it's actually a scarf. You know, it's got a fringe and everything.
All right. Okay, we buy that. And then, Puppy, I know you remember this one because we used to make a lot of fun of BitConnect. So as Greg is, because it's being called now, since you lost your connection 3 times, they're calling it the Pop Connect. So hey, hey, hey.
Hey, 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 hey.
Pop Connect.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? I sometimes share that one once in a while. That was so brilliant. Man, what a scam outfit that was. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up?
Yeah.
What was his name? Carlos?
I don't know. Some guy in New York, I believe, one of the promoters of BitConnect.
That's and that's the worst part. The worst part of it all, Anders, is everyone here, I know everyone in chat knows Bitcoin for what it is. Bitcoin is the only true and honest thing in the world. It's the only honest thing in the world. And it kills me when you hear people using shit like crypto, blockchain, everything else, and they try to latch on to Bitcoin. And they're just scammers, man. They are just fucking scammers. And I hate that. At the end of the day, look, they had their comeuppance. Where are they now? I don't know. Probably coming out with something new. It started with ICOs. Now we're in DeFi. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but hey, just buy Bitcoin. Keep it to the side. Yeah, Carlos Malta. Jesus. That's you know what though? It's part of the history. It's the history and legacy of Bitcoin and this space. And how early we are. And the ones, what's funny is the ones that were here, the people that were here, to remember that, people are going to look at them like, man, they're going to call them OG. Wait, you remember? Hey, hey, hey. You are OG.
Yeah.
Less than 1% adoption, man. This is nothing. $60,000. And people are saying, oh my God, $1 million in 5 years, that's impossible. But I'll tell you what, here's a guy that got always is a whack job, if you will, John McAfee, because he had a $250,000 bet, of course.
Yeah.
He didn't have the years right, but he had the idea right.
Yeah.
He knew exactly. He knew. He didn't. I don't think he foresaw the hard forks coming up. If there were no hard forks, you didn't have your bullshit Bitcoin Cash, if you didn't have any of that, you would have had $250,000 Bitcoin years ago.
Yeah,
easily.
But
easily.
You know what? That gave us an opportunity to buy Bitcoin at less than infinity, and I guess that has, selfishly, it's a good thing for the people coming in and realizing that Bitcoin is the only long-term true value, that the dirt coins are making it affordable for us. Let's face it, anything Bitcoin less than $1 million is cheap.
Yeah, and it's hard to get for one. Yeah, but let's talk about satoshis. Because I like that dollar sat parity. $1 for one satoshi. If you tell someone a satoshi it should be worth $1, and they look and they say, wait, for $1 I can buy, what is it, 2,800 satoshis now? Jesus Christ, this is fantastic.
It's actually even less than 2,000
what are two?
now, because we're above $50,000 per Bitcoin.
I remember when we broke under 10,000. I thought that was amazing. And now we're down to, honestly.
10,000 was that teaser back in the 17 bull run, and then afterwards we were hovering around that area as we were heading down in 2018. What is DMT? I think Greg is probably just messing with us here. What's that?
I don't know.
Greg is writing when THH on DMT. I think he's just messing with us. Just ignore Greg in the chat. Just ignore him.
You want to know here's how lucky Greg got. Before he found Bitcoin, he always spelled when, W-E-N. He was wrong for so many years, and Bitcoin came along, and now his spelling is correct. So, Greg, it worked out for you, my friend.
Yeah.
No, there was a question I wanted to find real quick. Hang on. Oh yeah. Hey, let's talk, because he's been on our show, man. He's been on our show.
Oh, Pierre Rashad?
Well, of course, but no, I'm talking about Hodlonaut.
Oh yeah.
So what's going on, man? Because we talked. We had Denver on here. We had him on because of the Norwegian energy company coming in. So what's the deal with Hodlonaut? Because he resigned his Twitter account. It was sad to see him go, man. He's one of the greatest plebs ever here. But I think you have more to the backstory.
Well, so I'm part of this Nordic Bitcoin Telegram group, and it's not that there's that many people in, but nevertheless, Knut Svanholm is in there, and so one of these guys is a little bit connected or something, I guess, because apparently Hodlonaut has, his full name has come out. I don't even remember it now because it doesn't really matter. But he's now hired and involved in CT, as you mentioned. Aker is, I believe, the second biggest energy company in Norway, and they have a lot of oil. So an energy company in Norway is huge. And Aker created the Bitcoin company CT, SEETEE, that is 100% focused on Bitcoin. They converted all of their funding money, which was around $50 million, into Bitcoin. They will be doing Bitcoin investing, buying, same thing, mining, just taking part in the ecosystem around Bitcoin. So apparently Hodlonaut is now a full-time employee in this Norwegian Bitcoin company, CT.
And I won't go down the full rabbit hole, but man, Hodlonaut, he's gone through so much shit over the years. From the biggest asshole in the world, or CSW, Craig Wright. He's the only one aside from Greg Zaj. Fuck that guy. Well, fuck Craig Wright too. So he and Greg Zaj are on, fuck that guy. Pubby tour.
GGLS. Pierre Rashad was on the show back in January, and it's the most viewed show we ever had. I recommend checking it out. Like 45 minutes before we went live, Puppy and I super excited to have legendary Pierre Rashad on the show, and Preston Pish on Twitter after Puppy had tweeted out that, hey, we're going live in 1 hour with Pierre. He then asked Pierre, can he crash it and join the show? And Pierre was like, yeah. And we had Preston Pish on together with Pierre Rashad. Absolutely, must-see episode, I guess.
No, we'll have them. We'll have both back individually. It's almost too much. So I like the way you heard the story there, or you told the story. That's not quite
correct.
That's not how I remembered it, because we have, of course, 3 hours difference when I'm on the East Coast and you're on the West Coast. Basically, I called you. I don't know. I think you may have been on the shitter. I don't know. But I said, look, dude. I know you. I know we're ready for Pierre, but guess what? Preston just jumped into the stream and says, "Hey, can I join the show?" So you had about
Not
30
the
minutes to
stream. He didn't join in the stream. He joined
the
in the
thread,
tweet.
the
The
thread, the
thread.
tweet, the stream,
Yeah,
whatever.
you got the story wrong now. Jesus.
Oh God. The point is, it was a last minute deal for you. Yeah, you got 30
Yeah,
minutes, and all of a sudden, Preston Fish is ready to come on your show.
yeah. Like I wake up sometimes an hour, sometimes a little bit more before the show. It's scheduled from the day before or earlier, and I'm just sitting there in my bed going through Bitcoin news, just getting updated. What's going on? What's going on with the price? Any new bullish news? And then I think you called me or something, and you said Preston Pish was coming on, which was
Yep.
a double dream having both Preston and Pierre Rochard coming on. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Don't joke about that. And it was true.
Man.
Something like that. Is that correct or incorrect?
No, it's absolutely correct. But this is a lesson we learned, and you and I talked about it offline. It's hard when you have like two big personalities like that, two people that have so much to say in a forum together. It's difficult to get them to. They each deserve their own show, and that's why we're going to have that again. But that's the hardest point of letting one go. I say something stupid, then Preston goes, then you say something stupid. It was hard to manage that. I'd rather just someone goes, and we just sit back and drink.
Yeah, it's no doubt that gives a great dynamic. But having Preston on was an absolute gift. I have been trying to get him back on, just him. But that dude is busy. Both of them are. It's a matter of time. Look, if we got Max and Stacy coming on Tuesday next week, wow, we started this 5-6 months ago, and Max and Stacy are coming on Toxic Caviar. What's actually going on? And then on Thursday, we might have Peter McCormick, although he has not confirmed yet, right? You asked him, and he has not replied yet.
I'm checking with his schedule coming up. But look, a shout to the entire community. The entire community of Bitcoin, from from HODLNOT, Gigi, you look at Daniel Prince, who started his own podcast, got us, started just having fun with this. You look through all these people, American HODLNOT. Every time we've asked anyone to join us, it's always been a resounding yes.
Except when we were ignored.
You're
not ignored, but I after having Matt Odell on, where you were traveling or flying or something, so it was just me and Matt Odell. That was so much fun. And then I DM'd Marty Bend or tweeted at him or something, asking him to come on. And I'd like to think he didn't see it because he didn't reply. But yeah.
For the most part.
But you're right. You're right. You're right. People are huge names have said yes to come on. Jeff Booth was a big breakthrough, I would say. Early December. Love that guy.
That was good until
Bitcoin Tina said no. Bitcoin Tina said no. That's right, Agent Hodl.
No, actually, that's not true. Absolutely not true. Bitcoin Tina. Oh, here we go. Oh, I thought you're freezing there. No, he's coming. Bitcoin Tina he's managing a couple of things, but he's going to be on the show. We'll get him.
That's right. Maybe he said with delay. Anyways, Puppy, I know that we're running out of time on your side. So can you tell us, are we doing any more Toxic Happy Hour this week, Thursday or Friday? Otherwise, I will do some I'll go solo with some Bitcoin Q&A or whatever, just to keep the content pumping.
Hey, I'm still good for a few minutes, man. I'll let you know when I gotta go.
All right, cool.
So going forward, Yeah, where is it that Bitcoin goes from here? And I'm not talking price. The narrative of putting it on your balance sheet is one. What is the new narrative in 2021?
I think we're moving towards it. It used to be that the narrative was that Bitcoin was risky. I think that we're moving towards not having Bitcoin being risky, and that's going to be phenomenal for adoption, both on a corporate and retail level. Tellus has a very, very relevant question. Better beer, Carlsberg or Tuborg? I grew up drinking Tuborg. That was just what we did in middle school. I don't know why we started with that, but it was Tuborg. Tuborg in Denmark is a sponsor of music. Carlsberg was a sponsor of sport. For some reason, we all dedicated ourselves to Tuborg. What about you? Do you know the taste?
Oh, yeah, listen, I've had both of them. But yeah, I understand how you could drink them in middle school because they're like water. I mean, that's like healthy.
Yeah. That's it's called green Tuborg. That was the closest I got to salad back in those days, year 6 and 7. I would recommend against drinking until you're 21. It's when your brain is still developing, you should not be consuming alcohol. I'm trying to be responsible here, although we may not exactly be a family show. So you are cracking up. You must be looking at the chat.
No, I always do, man. Always look at the chat. Look, give a shout out to the guys that are always here for us, man.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, the best chat in the space, the best, most hilarious chat in the space.
The best memers in the space, man. Let's be honest, man.
Yeah.
If you looked at our chat right now, 90% of the memes that you find in Bitcoin are in the room. Absolutely, except for Greg Jean.
Yep.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy, man.
Yeah.
Hard. Fuck him hard.
Jesus Christ, Pubby.
Hey, Pleb Marcus, hello, Yellow, and Lavrahadl. Love everything you do. In between getting your account suspended.
Yeah.
Who else is it?
Yeah, but you know what? After he got the
micro chatted now.
Yeah. After he got the follow from Michael Saylor, he's toning down his activity a little bit, Labra.
No, look, we got. Hang on a second. I'm gonna look here. Publish everyone what I texted you. Yeah, you love me. I know. No question for you because, and this is look, man. I wear my heart on my sleeve on this stuff. I thought it astounding when I jumped into Peter McCormick made a tweet about the plebes. I said, "Hey man, why don't you come on the show?"
Yep.
And Princey jumped in and said, "Hey, if you want a plebe show, these are the guys for you." And he wrote back quickly, "Sure." But my God, what do you look? Obviously, we're quote unquote toxic. Well, I want look the chat room. That's our lifeblood in a way. These are the guys. So what do you guys think, man? I'm looking forward to it, man. I think this is an opportunity to find out more about Peter McCormick. That we get to ask him questions. But I'm sure is the chat going to show up? Are they going to say? Are we going full Bitcoin maximalist and say, "No way, you're a shitcoiner"? I don't know, man. I think he's I think he's one of the most polarizing individuals in the space. He has arguably the greatest podcast here, right?
I would say he has definitely one of the most popular podcasts, right? You got Stefan Levere, you got Tales from the Crypt, you got Fish, which is an increasingly important podcast. And let me tell you why, because he's focused on what is super, super important. That is that free market interest rate that is much higher in Bitcoin, which will be a big problem for asset prices and will crash stocks and real estate like it was 1929 when Bitcoin takes over its money because the interest rate is higher. Go ahead.
Can we at least call him top 5? And I know what you're saying. And Preston Piscicore started with his what I'm saying, and Stefan Lavero. I mean, that dude brought so much energy to our show. Would love to have him back again. So it's cool to see
Oh yeah.
another podcaster that wants to jump in. But I think I find him such an interesting individual because he, in a way, everyone calls him a shitcoiner. But then again, like today, guess what? I'm halfway through. He's talking to our boy Greg Foss. Greg Foss, who we know, is all about Bitcoin. So yeah, where's that middle ground between calling someone a shitcoiner and also someone that interviews some of the most hardcore Bitcoiners in the space?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to have him on and have a conversation with the guy. That's all. Yeah, it's going to be, so that next week, in case he accepts, that's going to be pretty crazy. Max and Stacy Tuesday, Peter McCormick Thursday. We'll see what happens. Nevertheless, we'll always have fun because we still have the chat. Greg Sash claiming to be a professional. We all know that that's a lie, but whatever. So what else is going on? All right, so Bitcoin is going through the roof. Zoom out, look at 1 month time frame. Stop panic selling when Bitcoin dips 5, 10%, 20%, 30%. Be happy, embrace it, buy the dip. What else?
No, I'm just checking my Coinbase account here. Oh yeah, almost at, oh, we had a dip from 58. We're at 57.7. That's not bad.
Yeah, let me check my TradeView account that Labra Cadabra yesterday gave me a hard time for because it was not in dark mode. I didn't even know I could make it dark mode, but now it's in dark mode and it looks great. We had 57 700 and change, which is great. In February, Bitcoin closed at 45. Here we are at 57. It's just 17 days into March. Things are looking good.
It's a strangest thing to me, the mindset you have to get around.
Yeah.
The mindset when it comes to how quickly things move up and down, and you got to realize 5%, 10% is nothing. The first time you buy Bitcoin, hold that bitch for 8 years, roughly 2 halvings. If you can't hold for 8 years, you have no business here.
Yeah.
Period. That's my mindset.
So let's look at Bitcoin 8 years ago. That was, crashing down. That was the beginning of the bear market after the 2013 top at 1100. It was probably around $700 8 years ago. So you would be sitting close to 100x if you held for 8 years.
8 years.
It's that easy. It's that easy. Hold Bitcoin for 4 years.
It's easy.
Or 8 years or 12 years. There's a 4-year cycle. Hold on to it and stop panicking and realize that don't worry, Pubby and Danish have your back. We have the scarves arm for 100K, and at 100K, as Gap Daddy Force said, you never know how quickly the gap up to $400,000 will be closed. I think that's going to happen this year. We'll see. I'm extremely bullish.
So hey, let's talk June, baby. June.
Oh yeah, let's talk about June. Let's talk about Miami.
Look, Miami with $100,000 Bitcoin at the same time, the stars are aligned. You know it's going to happen.
Yep.
Can you imagine Bitcoin conference when they're crossing $100,000? Michael Saylor will be down there. He'll bring a few yachts, whatever he's got or hasn't sold. Yeah. So what do you think? I'm going. I know you're going. Who in the chat is going? That's what I see.
Yeah, guys. Hey, Bitcoin Cam, are you going to come to I think we spoke about it. You're going to make it to Miami? So for those who don't know, in Miami, there's a Bitcoin conference. We have a link down in the show notes. There is no affiliate income on it, and even if there was, so what? It's a 21% discount if you use the code Toxic21. If you pay with dirty fiat, every month the price goes up. So grab it while it's affordable. You don't need the whale pass. That's for like if you want to pitch your big Bitcoin project, you need the general admission and you need the Saturday night after party. I would say, and Pubby and I will meet for the first gang, hopefully, for the first time ever. For hopefully, many of the great people in the chat will be there. We are both hoping for Greg Sage. We know Sean Stacken is going to be there. Hopefully, Chairforce would be great if Daniel Prince and RD and Plan Marcus can make it over from Europe. We'd love to see Labra Huddle, but Labra Huddle prefer not to spend money on anything but sats, so that's probably going to be a long shot.
Yeah, so the great thing is, we've talked offline with some great guests. BTC Sessions, for example, Stefan Lavera, I think they're going to do some sort of karaoke thing we can pop into, but hell, we'll do our own happy hour with our friends.
Yeah.
When we're not there, it'll be good.
Yeah, it's dude, I can't wait to meet you, man. It's gonna be so much fun in Miami.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, you know how stupid early you are. You literally you know who the keynote speaker is, of course.
Yeah, well, there's several huge names. There's Jack Dorsey, Tony Hawk.
Yeah, right. Let's say the biggest name look, I love Tony Hawk, man. I grew up with that guy. Jack fucking Dorsey, the guy, and there's like no media coverage of this. Jack fucking Dorsey is going to be in Miami talking about Bitcoin. And you think you're late to the game? And no one's talking about it, man.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Also, Nick Szabo, who is one of the prime suspects of being Satoshi Nakamoto, inventor of Bitcoin. He's going to be there being a big... Dude, the speakers at this conference is through the roof. The roof. But I don't know. Are we going to be sitting there watching all the speeches, or are we going to be hanging out in the lobby and having fun? I know that is tempting, man. I've been to not a lot, but a little bit, and big part of the value is really hanging out with the people that you're like-minded with.
It depends how late the first night goes. What time does it? I hope the conference starts around noon, right?
I don't know. Hopefully not too early in the day.
Listen, I can always listen to that on replay somewhere. But you're right.
Yeah. Hopefully they're recorded, right?
Look, man.
That's our strategy. Hopefully they record the main speakers and we can just have fun.
Do you know what it is? And here's the cool thing, man. It's when you meet Bitcoiners in your life, it fucking changes everything. And let me explain this to you. It's easy to talk online all the time or talk on the phone, but it's when you find that Bitcoiner in person, you just don't shut up. You just don't shut up. It is. I can't imagine having 5 or 6 Bitcoiners together that are starved for Bitcoin talk and a drink or two. Yeah,
I agree. So we're gonna be there to finally meet each other in person. But are we gonna do a at least like half an hour toxic happy hour there, where for the people who can't make it, and we give them a little bit of a report of what's going down? How do you feel about that?
No, if they're too poor, and they can't make it, fuck them.
Jesus.
No,
I know you don't.
We'll do a show or something. Of course, man. How cool it could be. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's gonna be fantastic, man. Like so many people that you have your same values.
Yeah.
Your heart, your soul that you haven't been able to connect with. And we get to connect for the first time, man. That's a lot of energy, man. That is a lot of energy and moon juice.
I look forward to the Bitcoin conference like I was looking forward to Christmas as a child. That's how I'm looking forward to it. My God, I can't even imagine. And
you should, man. Yeah.
So, Tales
Yeah.
from the Crypt,
Oh,
they're doing a live show. So yeah, I look forward to meet those guys. Marty Bent don't know who we are, but at least Matt O'Dell had him on the show. Would be great to have a bourbon with those guys.
that's the one thing, man. I could never get over. Um, think about this for a second. All those people 3 years ago that were helping, noobs along, noobs like myself. Um, I don't know how much Bitcoin they had. I don't care. What I do know now is whatever Bitcoin they had is up to what? At the time, they could have been total dickheads, but they weren't. But imagine now, from 4,000, we're looking at 60,000. You're talking about people now, they're multi-millionaires easily. You know what it is.
Who are?
Well, all the OG are multi-millionaires now,
Oh,
but
yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah,
but they're
yeah, yeah,
but they're the coolest people in the space, man. They're not going to big time you. Um, it was Al's Lacrosse was telling a story, right? You had him. He was telling a story. He goes over. Who did he meet? Safety,
yeah,
or Safety. He meets these people. Pierre Richard. He goes, yeah, they're just normal guys. That's the
yeah.
best thing. If you want the future money of the world in certain hands, these are the people you want to control the money, man.
Yeah.
These are the people that you want in charge.
Absolutely. It's Bitcoiners are good people. They're on a mission, actually thinking about humanity instead of thinking of the private ownership of central banks benefiting those fat bankers themselves. And I don't have anything against banks as such. I have a problem
No.
pretty much with all banks that exist today because of the scammy system that they're abusing and the gatekeeping that they have. But
Yeah.
overall, this it does play a function in society that money is being lent from the people that have some money they're not sitting on to people actually producing value. But that is messed up in today's society.
Hey, man, when in doubt, go to the chat. They got better questions than we do for each other.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I think the chat may not even know that we're still here. They're entertaining themselves, which is awesome. I love our chat. So yeah, Bitcoin Cam is seeing this podcast is growing. Can't wait to see where it is in 3 years. Yeah, hopefully we're still running in 3 years. We're doing this for the passion, so I guess we will be. We're having fun,
Well,
right?
it gets expensive. When I have to fly out a broken closet door to my ski vacation to run the show, it gets expensive. So,
It
yeah.
does. But the biggest hurdle right now is getting a private laptop for you. And I will warn you
Fuck,
against buying
no,
the cheap. Yeah, we
yeah,
don't need it.
no,
Let's
listen,
buy
look,
beers, man. Let's buy beers in Miami for those donations, huh?
listen. Donations go to one thing. It stays with Bitcoin or it goes to alcohol. That's about it. Okay.
Okay.
Here's the. Hey, someone reach out, DM me, man, on a good laptop for the money. I just have so much electronics in my life right now that I do things through. Yeah, but maybe it's time I branch out.
You have to branch out to a computer. Have you heard about this concept that it's this concept of laptop where computers are so small you can actually carry it with you and you can just it's like a book, you open it up. It's called a laptop. It's pretty cool new tech that is out.
Yes, is it as new as this thing called a smartphone where I can do just as much on it as a laptop? And it is a bit smaller. So you tell me.
Yeah, but the only problem is that the thing about the laptop is at Pero that we look to for audio advice because his voice is silk smooth. When he says contango, a lot of people are loving it. That's all I'm going to say. But he says that in order to get that amazing audio, he recommended there's a mic that is like $80 on Amazon or something, but a laptop is needed to run some software instead of the mobile phone. That's all I'm saying. But
Hey, man, here's the thing, man. You can have a silky, smooth voice, but are you telling the truth? And the one thing about THH, we got shit equipment, but guess what? We drop Bitcoin bombs here, man.
that's
I'm
what
all
we
about.
do. And
I don't care if
great
it's
guess.
scratching. Great,
Yeah.
great guess. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Hey, so looking forward, Max Kaiser, man, and Stacy. I'm pretty much going to say, all right, Max, go, and just let that dude rant for 2 hours. I just want to see him rant. I don't even know what to ask him anymore. Everyone's heard this podcast, or well, I have anyway. I don't even know what to ask the dude right now because, well, obviously he's doing quite well in Bitcoin at $60,000. But man, just let him go, right? Just wind him up and let him go.
Yeah. The only thing I don't want to, I don't want to be saying to him, hey, we want one of your rants. Like you know, and I know you wouldn't do that, but when if the guy is just having a conversation, you don't tell them like, hey, make a rant. Like let that rant come, organically. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, got that.
So
being a bit facetious there, I would never ask a guest to rant, except for Greg Foss, because Greg Foss will eat his microphone during a rant.
Dude, yeah. The show with Greg Foss, which I think is only the second show we had that went above 1,000 views after the Preston Pish Pierre Rochard. He had so much energy, also having knowledge about the energy sector. You could run miners just on Greg Foss's energy in that show. So Pero is saying, probably send me an address. I will send you a MacBook. I have extra. Dude, I would. So here we go. You can dox yourself for a MacBook, no, but we trust Pero. Pero's a good guy. Pero Alpha. He wants to send you a MacBook, dude. You're killing it.
Yeah, but that's Apple, right?
Yeah, I'm getting a MacBook next. I'm done with this Microsoft stuff, man. I'm done with it.
That's like Greg Zosh. Fuck that guy.
Oh, you don't like MacBooks?
No, I'm joking, man. Of course, I'll reach out offline, man. Obviously, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
we can't. The economic expert. We can't end it until we hit 60,000. They say, what? We got a pump going on?
Yeah. So someone said 59,000 in the chat. I'm looking at it. I see 58,500. I'll take it. I think we pumped like $700 during THH. People should be paying us to pump the price because that is a toxic happy hour. No, I'm kidding. Keep your sats, stack sats, and sats the standard. And shout out Tells from the Crypt. And
hey, I'm laughing because we did. I think the last show is if someone could go back in history and monitor the pump every time we went live. Guess what? I think there's a 10% gain every time we go live.
Yeah. And a 10% gain? No, not 10, but yeah, whatever. Price is pumped. It's known as the THH pump, and it's because I don't know. Whatever. Enough about that. I'm just looking at the chat and see if there's any. Here's a question from Bitcoin. I throw it on the screen before reading it because it takes too long time to read it. Let me see. What do we have? Want to ask Max, what's the long-term plan? Stick about or vanish on his boat? Look, dude, this guy and his wife Stacy are so rich by now that if he's not vanished now, I don't think he's gonna vanish. I think he's just having fun. So Pedro is serious. He says he's serious about sending you a MacBook. I want to wait for the. Chat's gonna kill me now, but I want to get because as a personality, I'm an all-in type of guy, right? I want to get the MacBook Pro when it comes out with their new silicon. I think it's M2 processor, which is meant to be amazing. I don't need it, but I'd love to get that machine, and that can last many years.
It's hard for me to type on my little phone here. Hey, ask Pero, does that MacBook come preloaded with Coinbase? Because I'm not really good with technology.
Yeah, does it have the Coinbase? Does it have the Coinbase
app?
Cold storage Bitcoin wallet built in? I'm kidding. What's funny? What now?
Everything's funny, man. We had the look, man. We had the best show. We got the best show in space because for 2 years you and I talk, almost for a year. Fuck, man, we love each other. Anyone that's here is here because they also love Bitcoin. Have a good time. That's it, man. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we have the best show, but we're certainly having fun.
Oh, we do.
We have the best chat, and we have best guests.
Best show.
But all right.
Oh wait. So you're saying you said we got the best chat, right? And we got the best guest. That means we got the best show, my friend.
Because we let them dominate anyway, right? We let the guest speaks and we throw the chats on the screen, and there you go. That's logical thinking. I can take it. Pedro, Pedro, you're saying it's already out. Are you telling me that the MacBook Pro with the new Mac Apple Silicon is out? I thought that's not out yet. Yes, and this is a show by the plebes for the plebes. That's what Toxic Happy Hour is about. Yeah. Pedro, let me know in the chat, please, if the MacBook Pro with the Apple Silicon is out. That's what I want to get. I want to get the new processor that all future software will be optimized for. So Agent Hoddle in the house as well.
Yeah, but now's the time. It's a good match, but Pubby got to roll. Pubby got to roll.
Yeah, we got an after-ski running, but yeah, you got to roll. Yeah. We're doing sorry.
Yeah, no rug pull today, man. Finishing up. Hey, just another day in the life of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin will do what it's going to do.
Yeah,
and we get the best people in the space in our show. Thank God.
Yeah. So Pedro, let's jump on Twitter DM. All right, Puppy. Thank you for being a great co-host. Thank you, chat, for being amazing and hilarious. Thank you everyone for watching. We're having fun doing this, and I just want to say, as the usual outro, be careful not to store more value in dirty fiat currency, aka dollar, euro, etc., then you can afford to lose. It's a built-in policy that they dilute the value of your savings year after year. And therefore, we'll see you on the next one. I'll probably do a solo show Thursday or Friday. Obviously not Toxic Happy Hour, just like talking Bitcoin. And then Tuesday next week, we've got Max and Stady. Hopefully Thursday, Peter McCormack. See you on the next one.